What if you could change your past? What if you could go back and fix every mistake, erase every painful memory? The film The Butterfly Effect asks this question, but its answer is far more terrifying than you could ever imagine. This isn't a story about a hero with a cool superpower. It's a gut-wrenching look at a man named Evan Treborn, whose life is a mosaic of shattered memories and unbearable guilt. The film throws us right into Evan's broken world. As an adult, he is haunted by one singular obsession: undoing the childhood tragedy that led to the death of his first love, Kayleigh Miller. This quest is the dark heart of the entire story. To understand why, we're pulled back into his childhood, a disturbing landscape of frequent, terrifying blackouts. These aren't just moments of forgetfulness. They are gaping holes in his existence, entire chunks of time that have been completely erased from his mind. We see a young Evan suddenly finding himself in bizarre and traumatic situations, with no memory of how he got there or what he did. One moment he's drawing, the next he's holding a knife, with no idea what happened in between. This makes him an unreliable narrator of his own life, a stranger to his own actions. We feel his confusion and fear through the eyes of his desperate mother, Andrea. She drags him from one doctor to another, searching for an answer, a cure for the alarming episodes that are initially misdiagnosed as everything from psychosis to severe trauma. This frantic search establishes the oppressive, heavy tone of the film. It suggests that trauma isn't just a single event. It's a relentless, self-replicating force. Evan's childhood is a ticking time bomb, and the countdown has already begun. As Evan grows into a teenager and then a young man, the blackouts become less frequent but no less severe. A chilling pattern emerges. The memory gaps always happen during moments of extreme stress, fear, or violence. The key to unlocking this mystery, and his hidden ability, lies in the journals he was encouraged to keep as a child. These aren't just diaries. They are detailed archives of his life, filled with writing, visceral drawings, and even home videos, all attempts to piece together his fractured past. The moment of discovery is both subtle and shocking. While rereading a particularly intense diary entry, Evan is suddenly thrown back in time. He isn't just remembering. He is physically and mentally re-experiencing the moment, his adult consciousness inhabiting his younger body. He's accidentally activated his power. He quickly realizes that these journals and videos are his temporal anchors. They hold enough emotional energy to project his mind back to the exact moment they were created. But this isn't a gift. The film immediately establishes the brutal, unforgiving rules of his time travel. First, he can only travel to moments he personally recorded. Second, while he has his adult mind, he's trapped in his child's body with all its physical limitations. He can't just overpower a bully. He's still just a kid. And third, and most terrifyingly, the physical consequences of his actions in the past manifest violently on his present-day body. A cigarette burn he receives as a child in the past instantly appears as a fresh, painful scar on his adult skin. His ability isn't a superpower. It's a self-inflicted weapon, and every use comes with a heavy price. The story then tightens its focus on the deeply toxic and codependent friendship between Evan, Kayleigh, and her volatile older brother, Tommy. Their teenage years are a spiral of rebellion fueled by neglect and the bleakness of their surroundings. They get involved in increasingly dangerous and morally questionable activities, which forge the central traumatic bond between them. The climax of their youth is a horrific incident, an act of extreme cruelty that serves as the primary source of Evan's adult guilt. And of course, during this pivotal life-altering event, Evan has a complete blackout. This specific memory gap is crucial, because he can't remember his own role in the tragedy. He assumes the worst and takes on the full weight of responsibility for everything that followed. Tommy's descent into violence, Kayleigh's subsequent trauma and brokenness, and his own gnawing inability to reconcile who he thinks he is with the monster he might have been. The pain of the present is directly tied to the blank spaces in his past. His desperate need to use time travel becomes a psychological imperative. It's not about adventure. It's about atonement. Driven by years of unrelenting grief and the knowledge that he can literally rewrite history, Evan begins his mission. His first trips back in time are surgical. He targets the earliest, most damaging moments, trying to prevent the events that set Kayleigh and Tommy on their destructive paths. Maybe he can stop a moment of abuse, or change a single cruel decision. But the film immediately shatters any hope of a simple fix. Evan learns a hard lesson. Changing even the smallest detail triggers the butterfly effect on a macro scale, leading to catastrophic, unforeseen consequences. In one attempt, he saves Kayleigh from a specific trauma, only to return to a present where she's a hardened, cynical waitress, her spirit crushed in a different way. In another timeline, he saves her again, but this time his actions lead to Tommy being institutionalized for life. His good intentions consistently pave the way to a new kind of hell. Each fix just swaps one form of misery for another, forcing him to confront a terrible question. Is he actually saving anyone, or just creating new monsters? As Evan's desperation grows, his interventions become more aggressive, more sweeping. This leads him down a rabbit hole of progressively darker and more disturbing alternate realities. The film brilliantly showcases the terrifying fragility of our existence. In one timeline, his changes inadvertently lead to him being imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit in this new reality, while Kayleigh grows up bitter and alone. In another, his attempt to give his mother a happy life backfires so spectacularly that he ends up committed to a psychiatric hospital, his time-traveling ability dismissed as a symptom of severe psychosis. Perhaps the most heartbreaking timeline is one where Kayleigh is happy, successful, and well-adjusted. It's everything he ever wanted for her. But in this reality, their deep, soul-defining connection never existed. They are complete strangers. He looks at the woman he loves, the person whose pain defined his entire life, and she looks right through him. This is where the film's theme truly deepens. Evan realizes he cannot have a perfect past and keep the relationships that were forged in its fires. The woman he loves is a product of the very trauma he's trying to erase. By removing her pain, he erases the very essence of their bond. His constant jumping between timelines begins to shred his mind, leaving him unmoored, questioning his own identity and sanity. Worn down to the brink, his body a roadmap of scars from his temporal tampering, Evan reaches his final crisis. He's no longer looking for a perfect timeline. He's just looking for a stable one, a reality where the people he loves can have a measure of peace, no matter the cost to himself. This is his painful realization. He is the problem. His ability to change the past is the source of all the instability. He is the storm. In every timeline where he is happy, someone he loves suffers. And in every timeline where they are happy, he is either miserable, imprisoned, or non-existent. He is forced to confront the idea of necessary pain. Maybe the original, chaotic timeline, the one he was so desperate to escape, was the best possible version, the only one where everyone, at the very least, survived with some core part of themselves intact. His quest is no longer about redemption. It's about radical, profound self-sacrifice. He must choose a timeline and find a way to lock it in forever, even if it means erasing himself from the equation entirely. The climax is Evan's final, most devastating act of love. He understands that his very existence is the catalyst for all this suffering. He uses his power one last time to travel back to the earliest possible moment, the genesis of his connection to Kayleigh. In the film's most iconic and gut-wrenching ending, Evan realizes the only way to truly save everyone is to prevent his own birth. He travels back into the womb and makes the ultimate choice, ensuring he is never born at all. The story doesn't end with a triumphant reunion. It ends with a quiet, profound, and sorrowful sense of peace. In the final scene, we see the ripple effect of his sacrifice. Years later, in a world where Evan Treborn never existed, we see a healthy, happy Kayleigh. She passes a man on the street, a stranger, and for a fleeting moment, there's a flicker of impossible recognition, a ghost of a memory that never was. But they are strangers, and they walk on their lives peaceful and complete. This is the reality Evan chose. The film's powerful message is that true peace isn't found in a futile quest to perfect the past, but in accepting the beautiful, messy, and often painful reality of the life we are given. Evan finally finds his redemption, not by changing what happened, but by giving up the power to change it, securing a better future for everyone he loved at the ultimate cost. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this analysis, be sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite films.